So in this video I'm gonna talk about one of my interviews which happened about I guess in July. On in July on 27th or 28th, after 25 and before the month end. So the interview was about between 25 and 31. It doesn't have any relevance to it. The date doesn't have any relevance to the situation, but I'm just trying to add some depth and engage you in this video. So this is because I've seen movies, like really well crafted movies. I wouldn't say really well crafted, I would say that movies that mass and larger amount of audience has liked, which are ranked really high on IMDb, have followed some same patterns. So I've followed some patterns, such as giving details of any specific thing, or giving timestamps about every single incident that is happening, or giving really detailed explanations about characters or their lives as they are introducing them. So yeah, that's because I just tell you that it was happened in July between 21 to 30. The only relevance to this thing is that it was hot. So yeah, moving forward. So I went for the interview. I gave the interview. It was not that hard. First of all, that the guy who was taking my interview was some person in the team who was tech, who was into tech. Well, I don't know who he was, but he took my interview. And there was another guy who was the HR of that whole company. The company was not that big, around 30 people. I won't say 30, 20 people, not even 20, maybe less than 20 I guess. So around 20 or less than 20, more than 10, less than 20. So yeah, 15, 16 something people were there in that company. 4 or 5 were the people who used to get clients on board. Obviously you have to find some clients to earn money. They aren't gonna walk in, right? That's not how it works. In for jobs you have to outreach. That's how you get interviews. So he took my interview, and the main thing that I want to talk about is the guy who took my interview and the guy who was negotiating the salary with me were different persons. So the guy who took my interview has I had well, I would say I had created some sort of image of myself in his head, that I was worth the money. I was the guy who could have been hired, who should get hired, because I had the knowledge about the things that he asked. The first of all, things that he asked were not that I would say outlandish. Is that the right word? I would say the things that he asked were not that hard. They were really somewhat of basic concepts, like simple things like water hooks and this and that. I just explained him how event loop works and few other things. It was not that hard. Babel, he asked me. Well, I don't know why he asked me about Babel. Is there any relevance to me knowing what Babel is? But I knew Babel. I knew what Babel is, so I just told him that this is what Babel is. So he asked me. I answered. At the end, the last question that he asked, "Did you do this?" I think it was about databases and something like. I guess it was about database. I don't remember it very now. So he told me that I know you would answer this, so let's just move forward. The final question that he answered me: why do you want to switch if you already know about this? So I just told I don't want to limit myself to any specific domain. I just want to explore more. React Native is one of the things that I also like. I would love to work on it. So yeah, he just said okay. So we walked out, and they gave me some time. No time was given. There was no need for to give me time for working on time. So it was just about the onboarding thing that HR asked me. Then the thing was salary negotiation. So I told him 15,000. He told me no, 6,000. And then I fumbled. So all I did was I told him like, okay, 6,000. So not even negotiating once. I didn't even read that line which they gave. I didn't even read the proper about the job description, but it was ranged from 5,000 to 8,000, so it could have easily given me 8,000. But yeah, so yeah, that failed. So I said okay to them at 6,000. I said like 6,000 for the first month. If I perform well, you should give me 8,000 for the next month. So he said okay. First of all, I didn't know that the companies earn a lot, as I just saw their one of their another job openings about a React.js developer within 2 years of experience. They were giving 25 to 45,000, which is a lot. Which is a lot as a fresher for me. If they give me 25, man, I'm the whole. So that is not the thing we are gonna talk about. So yeah, so I thought the company is poor. I don't know why I had this thing in my head. The company is poor. Like, man, I don't know, but I just had that thing in my head. So moving from that, I said yes, it's okay. Then I called my home and I talked to my father and told them that they were gonna offer me 6,000, and he said that's all. He said that's all. It was more dramatic than this. It, then one of the typical thing my father says, which is usual. Actually, they have said this multiple times in different scenarios, not in this specific scenario, because it was one of the first interviews that I have given and I got selected. I have given 5-6 interviews, not much. So, so after that, so he told me, tell him that he can work for me. I will give him more money than this. So basically, the guy was offering 6,000. So my father told me, tell that guy I'm gonna give him more money. Come work under me. So yeah, it was a Chad moment, Chad father moment. So yeah, but they don't give me money. They don't give me 15,000. But they were gonna give that guy money, but not me. Yeah, not his own son, but someone who's gonna work under him. Like I have. Don't you think I have been working under you? Right? You should give me money. Also. So after that, I just sat there for like inside of office. So there was a waiting area, reception type of area, in which for the most in which most of the people were there waiting for their chance to get into. And as I got selected, so they took me inside of the room, which was just adjacent to the waiting room. So yeah, I just waited for the. It was good. They had decent furniture, but not outlandish. Decent furniture. ACs were working, so it was cold. It was not hot. I won't say cold. It was not hot. It was good temperature. It was the temperature in which everyone would love to work, love to sit. So yeah, there was it. And after like I guess half an hour or maybe more than half an hour, 45 minutes, I asked the girl. So when the HR had another office, the HR had an assistant also with him. So I asked that girl. She was just going beside. She was just going. She was just walking past me. I guess that's the right words, right letters, right sentence. I created. She was just walking past me. So I just asked her, listen. So I just wanna ask, are you the HR? So she told me, I'm not, but you can ask. Tell me what is the thing that you want to say. So I told her that my father is saying that this is not enough, and yeah. So and she told me she got a little anxious. I guess I don't know, a little maybe anxious, maybe a little confused. You would say a big mix of confusion and anxious. So she told me the CEO is coming. You can talk to him and tell her what all these things. So she just then she as soon as she was talking to me, she walked in faster and maybe go to that HR guy, talked to that HR guy. Then they called me again, and then they said, "Is there any issue?" So I told them, "What, there is no issue." So is the so I didn't I was just looking at my face like, "Did you told him?" So yeah, it was like that. It was somewhat of this. I murmured some words. I stuttered a little. I said some words at that point. I just told her that this is not her. I can't work for this role. And then this and that. Then words got exchanged. There was some sentences whom I answered. Then he told me this is all I can do. So I told him that I'm gonna let you know what my father says. So, yeah, I walked out. I don't know what I was gonna say. So the moral of the story is be a better at be don't first get a denial if you are getting a fee. This is for me actually. This is not free. This is what I'm gonna do on my action too. Actually, I'm gonna get a denial first that no, we can't do more than this. Then I'm gonna lower my expectations. First, I'm gonna get that limit. I not even negotiated for once. The way he said it felt like it was a little off for me because it was first time I was doing something like asking for money from someone. Because I had in my head I was like, even if he gives me 4,000 bucks, I'm like it's nothing. It's the starting point. But so the thing that changed my head was one of the things that my father said was value yourself. So yeah, that is obviously true. That if I'm gonna value myself, how am I gonna work for 5,000 or 6,000 rupees? So that is there. Leaving that thing apart. The main issue was the main thing that stuck to my head was the other people who were there for the interview were stupid. Even in the team that they had in their company, they were stupid. Well, I'm saying this blatantly, but this was the fact for that. The word stupid doesn't mean they were like mad or like they didn't have head in their heads. So the thing that I'm saying, the stupid here means that they didn't had enough knowledge about things, right? So yeah, there's that. If the guy who took my interview or the guy who was on HR, even if he had the same negotiation power, he wouldn't have denied when I said like, I'll let you know 6,000, 8,000 is good or not. So that's how I got that. That's how not